In the headlines, changes to the income tax system on the way as government seeks to incentivize employment. Opposition leader wants to see more attention placed on traditional growth engines and renewed calls for authorities to rethink the location of the proposed Newtown Health Center. I am Kenny Williams of the Channel 5 News. Back with the details right after this. Thank you for staying with us. We begin with this item that government has announced a number of changes to the income tax system, which it says are aimed at incentivizing employment and income. Prime Minister and the Minister for Finance, Roosevelt Skerrit, explained during the budget presentation on Thursday there will be an easing of the tax burden on Dominican workers. Effective January 1, 2018, it expects to see an increase in the minimum income tax threshold from $15,000 per year to $25,000 per year. In effect, people earning $2,500 or less a month will not have to pay income tax. Skerrit also said people working for more than $30,000 a year will have the first $30,000 exempt from income tax deductions. The government expects to see income being taxed only when it reaches the 35% tax rate by the 2018-2019 financial year. It also expects to abolish the 15% and 25% tax bands during this time. The proposed National Fiscal Policy Panel, expected to be set up by September 1, 2017, will advise the government on these measures.
Although this is a major move in regard to incentives in our country, and as a measure of our new direction, the revenue foregone would represent less than 5% of our current revenues. There will be those who will consider that 5% of revenues will be recovered through the expansion of our economy. But we will conservatively assume not, and instead we would moderate our other concessionary expenditures within the fiscal year in order to maintain a near-zero primary balance in our fiscal accounts. This measure is not being funded by debt, Madam Speaker.
He also said government is examining a plan to encourage overseas-based Dominicans to consider being tax residents. This is expected to be a new feature of the Citizenship by Investment program.
The advantage for them would be a tax identification number, which is increasingly becoming a requirement for carrying out international business. Our new citizens have already passed a thorough due diligence exercise. And for those wishing to become tax resident here without being resident in Dominica for the normal requisite time, we may give them the option of becoming tax resident as long as they pay a minimum amount of income tax in Dominica.
Meantime, leader of the opposition, Lennox Linton, believes the growth rate of Dominica's economy is below what is recommended because traditional growth engines are being ignored by government. He gave his rebuttal to the Prime Minister's budget presentation in Parliament on Friday. On Thursday, Prime Minister and the Minister for Finance, Roosevelt Skerrit, noted preliminary estimates indicate Dominica's economy grew by 2.8%. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank recommends a growth rate of at least 5%.
Madam Speaker, the continuing inadequate economic growth performance in Dominica is due largely to one, the government's neglect of the agriculture sector, the failure to support the tourism sector with the necessary infrastructure, lack of focus on private sector-led growth, the absence of structural reforms, and a steady decline in foreign direct investment inflows, and the whole issue of incompetence of this 17-year-old administration.
He also expressed concern on de-risking.
It is therefore incumbent, Madam Speaker, that at national level, government and other stakeholders understand that FDI inflows, irrespective of source, cannot bolster a budget or provide the injection to national development if the funds will not be accommodated through the formal financial system. We cannot wish de-risking away, and it is not going to disappear because we refuse to accept that question marks in the global banking industry about sources of funds for the purchase of our main revenue earner are real and can only be successfully addressed with enlightened, honest governance conduct.
In other top stories, President of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Celia Nicholas, has reiterated her call to the relevant authorities to reverse their decision of converting a building on the Newtown Primary School compound into a health center. Her latest remarks came at the close of the 2-week-long Summer Institute of the DAT, which was held in collaboration with the Canada Teachers Federation. At the start of the workshop on 17th July, Nicholas had lamented the future use of the space as a health center, saying that more thought needs to be put into creating areas for children to practice and develop in the field of visual and performing arts. At the annual workshop's closing ceremony, the DAT boss once again called on government officials to revisit their decision.
At the opening, I made a plea, and I'm going to make it again. The Dominica Association of Teachers is once more asking, beseeching the powers that be to reconsider, revisit their choice of this building for the establishment of a health center. Be it temporary or permanent temporary. I make no bones about it.
Nicholas pointed out that spaces such as these are needed to help in the holistic development of the children.
What we are saying, even if it is temporary, we know what happened in the case of the Roseau Boys School, how long it had to be before it could be occupied. All right? So I do this on behalf of the principal, the staff, and students of the Newtown Primary School, and also the residents of what is described as the Mecca of football in the Commonwealth of Dominica. The Dominica Association of Teachers will appreciate the appropriateness and the value of this request.
In other news, 2 people have been critically injured and hospitalized following a vehicular accident in Layu on Friday morning. Channel 5 News understands that a passenger bus traveling along the Eo-Leblanc Highway struck a coconut tree on the roadside. About 4 people are believed to have been injured. More details on the accident are unknown, as Channel 5 News has not received an official report from the police. We will continue to follow the matter and bring you more details as they become available. Moving further afield, Venezuelans will go to the polls on Sunday, 30th July, to elect a new constituent assembly to rewrite the country's constitution. On 1st May this year, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro called for a new constituent assembly following weeks of protests by opposition which have turned deadly at times. The first time a constituent assembly was called in 1999 by then-President Hugo Chavez. However, this constituent assembly will be on a larger scale, covering 3 major categories, namely territorial, indigenous, and sectoral. An estimated 9.5 million people of Venezuela's 33 million population will head to the polls on Sunday to elect 545 constituents to rewrite the country's constitution. Consular at the Venezuelan embassy in Dominica told Channel 5 News that the new constituent assembly will benefit all people in Venezuela.
De elevar a categoría en estos 18 años de revolución,
in these 18 years of revolution,
unos logros importantes que ha tenido nuestro pueblo.
The Venezuelan population has had a lot of achievements
En este gobierno revolucionario.
in this revolutionary government.
Ellos se quieren llevar a la Constitución, a la propuesta de la Constitución,
And they would like to propose the constitution
para que estos beneficios
so that these benefits
no sean arrebatados al pueblo,
are not
para que no sean quitados.
that they are not taken from the people.
The opposition-controlled National Assembly, which was elected in December 2015, is separate and apart from the Constitutional Assembly. Coming up, 2 of Dominica's queens head overseas to represent the country. That and more when we return.
In the event of a storm, subscribers must disconnect the mapping cable at the back of all television sets, modems, and routers. It is also wise to unplug all devices from the electrical outlets. This has been another mapping hurricane tip. Remember, be safe, be smart this hurricane season.
Watch out, summer. Mapping is doing it big from 17th July to 31st August with free installation and cash prizes. Here's the drill. New customers sign up for any of our services and pay no installation plus a chance to win cash prizes every week. Existing subscribers pay off your outstanding balance and you too will qualify to win. Sign up, pay up and win because life is better with Mapping. Welcome back. Miss Dominica 2017, Jade Romaine, says she is confident going into her first of 3 regional pageants scheduled for this year. Andrea Louis has more.
Romaine, who had copped the title of Miss Dominica 2017 in February, had also taken the awards for Best in Costume, Best Swimwear, Best in Swimwear, and Best Evening Wear. During an interview with Channel 5 News, Romaine said it has been non-stop practice for the Miss JC's pageant in Antigua, scheduled for Sunday, 30th July.
I am a realist, and so when I won Miss Dominica having no prior pageant experience, I knew that in order for me to participate in Miss JC's and to compete against 14 other contestants, I had to work very hard, and that is what I have been doing. I am very proud of myself, irrespective of whatever happens during the pageant, because I know the amount of work that I have put in, and hard work brings success, so hopefully that will be in my favor in the night of the show. There's the introductory round where we present ourselves in our ambassadorial wear. Then we have a swimsuit, evening wear, talent, and then the top 5 then go on to the interview segment, which determines the winner.
In the lead-up to the Miss Dominica pageant, Romaine's platform centered around mental health. She says she plans to get more involved in pushing her platform when she returns from her second pageant in Nevis in early August.
These past few months, I have been focusing on working so hard because after Miss JC's, which is on Sunday, that same week I leave for Miss Caribbean Culture, which is the 5th and 7th of August. So I've been practicing for both of these pageants simultaneously while working. And I have been doing, I have been speaking. For example, I spoke to students at the Dominica Public Library. They have a summer program there, and so I did a presentation on mental health. I also went to the Dominica Grammar School orientation session where I spoke to the students about achieving their goals as well as mental health. So I have been doing some things in the background. When I return, I will focus on really educating the public on mental health. That is what I want to focus on during my reading, because a lot of people are uninformed or misinformed about mental health, and there's a lot of stigma.
The first pageant which Miss Dominica normally takes part in after winning the crown is the Miss Carnival in St. Vincent. However, that pageant was cancelled this year. Romaine disclosed that there is a third pageant which she will participate in. The Caribbean Carnival Queen pageant will be held in St. Kitts in December.
Still with regional representation, 3-time winner of Dominica's Calypso Queen competition, Janae Jackson, has left Ireland to participate in a regional Calypso competition. The Caribbean Female Monarch competition will be held in Nevis on Monday, 31st July. Jackson will compete against 9 other regional Calypso queens, including representatives from Antigua and Trinidad and Tobago. The Caribbean Female Monarch competition forms part of Nevis's Culturama activities. Jackson's trip was facilitated by the Dominica Festivals Commission, and she is expected to return on island on Tuesday, 1st August. On to fundraising efforts. In its drive to raise money to complete its ongoing 6-year renovation project, the Cathedral Renovation Committee is urging Catholics and the wider public to help in restoring a local monument to its former glory. Here again is Andrea Lee.
The Lady of Fairhaven Cathedral had started fundraising for the roof renovation in 2004, and back then the estimated cost for the project was $1 million. However, with the rising cost of labor, equipment, and expanded renovation project, the cost has risen to $12 million. Currently, the committee is $3 million short of reaching its target amount and is urging the public to help it realize its goal of renovating the iconic Lady of Fairhaven Cathedral.
We're going to need new pews, we're going to need new doors, we're going to need new sound system, and we're going to need $3 million. And I am asking the general public, I'm asking Catholics to come forward. We'll be meeting in the private sector, We have discussed with central government ways and means how we can work with the private sector towards the getting some tax rebates. So when we come to you, the bishop, the team, we're looking forward to discussing with you how we can contribute and how we can get it back at the end of your annual returns.
To this end, the parish of St. John will be having a fundraising event, part proceeds of which will also go towards the restoration of their new church building. The original church structure was destroyed during an earthquake in 2004.
In collaboration with the cathedral, we have this major event coming up on the 30th of July taking place in Portsmouth in the new church. And I think that will be a great opportunity for the rest of Dominica to celebrate our efforts and to be part of a major event. So every effort that is being made to raise the funds can only be a blessing, not only for us, but for you who come to support us. The major praise and worship concert on the 30th of July.
Fundraising for the Lady of Fairhaven Cathedral began in 2004. Renovation work started in 2011. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
And ending news on this item that the Mapping Flow sales team continues on its island-wide drive for its summer promotion. Thus far, the team has been to La Plaine and Calibishi and is expected to cover other parts of the island in the upcoming weeks. Sales and marketing executive Chantal Charles Winston says the team is pleased with the response from customers thus far.
So far, I'm saying that the reception has been very, very good. The customers, in terms of awareness, they are quite aware of the promotion and they're actually coming to us instead of, we going to look for them all the time. So the customers are aware and we're very happy with the numbers that we have so far. We're hoping to cover about 45 of the out districts and we're trying to do it all around the island, not just the East Coast, but hopefully Grand Bay should be a part of it as well.
During the promotion period, customers will benefit from special deals on installation of cable and internet services and handsets and combo packages.
Being a part of the best network on the island, the #1 cable telecommunications company and the #1 mobile company on island, I mean, it's a no-brainer. It is a no-brainer. You get the best deals on both sides of things and we give the best service, quality service that is. So we give you value for money and that's the place you need to be, with Flow and Mapping.
The Flow Mapping summer promotion comes to an end on 31st August. That's news, your sports highlights, next. First up in sports, Sunday is expected to be a day of exciting cricket, which will bring the curtains down on the cricket season, more specifically the finals of the Fort Young Hotel Dominica Cricket Association Intermediate Cricket League. This according to DCA Treasurer Andy Matthew at a press conference on Friday.
On Sunday, we climax the Intermediate League, and I would say the entire season, because we're not having a playoff for the Premier League this year. We already know that Marino Blasters, based on the fact that they have most points, are the champions of the First Division League. The intermediates, we go into the finals on Sunday. It will climax our entire league, and the Fort Young sponsored Intermediate League. We foresee that we're going to have a very good contest between the Police Sports Club and Sagiko General Somerset.
He said the teams have been consistent throughout the league and is expecting good competition on Sunday. Meantime, captain of Police Sports Club, Daryl Damier, says his team is looking forward to their match against Sagiko General Somerset.
Police is having a very good season in terms of cricket. We have done quite well consistently, and that's the reason why we are here today in the finals. And hopefully, if we continue to do that well, we're hoping that our guys are pumped up, motivated. We are optimistic, and there's a great level of enthusiasm among the members of the police team, and we are looking forward for a good competition. I must hope that the Somerset team, the members of the Somerset team, we are hoping to have a very tightly contested game. I believe 250 to 260 will be a respectable score that can be defended, although we have defended much lower totals, but if we put a benchmark, I would look at 250 to 260 runs.
Somerset's representative had this to say about their match against Police on Sunday.
we hope that cricket is the winner on Sunday, and that we play a very competitive game, and that we are on our best behavior. Discipline, it goes a long way in sports. And as we speak, we are training, so we hope you all are doing the same, so we can at least score some runs and then to chase it down quite easily. Roy Marshall, he's a very senior player. He has a lot of experience, and we wouldn't hang all our hopes on him, but we're expecting him to perform. And then we're hoping that our fielding can be on par, and the bowling as well.
This year, the DCA has a number of incentive opportunities, which include cash prizes for the boundary catch, a social media promotion, and the most vocal supporter. The 2017 Fort Young Hotel Dominica Cricket Association Intermediate Cricket League is carded for the Botanic Gardens at 11 a.m. Moving on to developments in sports, where the work of the government continued moments after the budget address on Thursday, when Cabinet reviewed architectural drawings for the indoor multi-sports facility to be located in Stock Farm. Previously, government signed a contract for its design worth over $3 million Eastern Caribbean dollars on Friday, June 9. The contract was signed with Marquez & Marquez Arquitectos of Puerto Rico, an architectural firm with over 40 years of design and construction experience. The general scope of works for the architect's engagement will include preparation of conceptual designs, schematic designs, preparation for construction documents, assistance with the construction bidding process, construction supervision, and other professional services. Moving on to football, it was raining goals when the Exodus and East Central football clubs recorded huge wins in the DFA's Under-17 Football League on Thursday. DFA's Public Relations Officer, Gerald George, has the details.
Exodus made the 2 wins from as many matches as they crushed Harlem United 9-1 at the Stock Farm complex. Aaron Francis registered the first hat-trick of the league, with Linton Marshall and Yanni Loda scoring 2 each. Addison Dennis got 1, while the other goal came through an own goal. Dante Augustine scored the lone goal for Harlem. In the other match, East Central made a winning start to the competition 4 days after being crowned Socorama champions with a 5-2 victory over Ian Douglas Bombers at the Castlebros playing field. Nilbert Thomas and Rudel Coppell combined to score 2 goals each, with Jason Joseph getting 1. Richmond Pielwe and Corbin Paul scored for Bombers.
Regionally, Dominica celebrated more wins as action continued in the 2017 Windward Island School Games recently. The male squad crushed St. Lucia in boys basketball in a convincing 79-50. The female volleyball team also had a superb win, dominating the volleyball game against St. Vincent 3-0 to secure the first championship. Set scores were 25-14, 25-9, and 25-9. On the international cricket scene, resuming on 171 for 9, England was bowled out for 353 on day 2 of their test against South Africa on Friday. Ben Stokes struck a brilliant 112 to add to his team's total, while Alastair Cook contributed 88. Kegiso Rabada picked up 3 for 83 for South Africa. In reply, South Africa lost wickets at regular intervals to finish the second day on 126 for the loss of 8 wickets. The highest scoring batsman on South Africa's team in that match was Temba Bovman's 34. Toby Ronald-Jones took 4 wickets for 22 runs. As of Friday, South Africa trailed by 227 runs with 2 wickets in hand. In related sports, India led by 498 runs with 7 wickets remaining at the end of day 3 of the test against Sri Lanka on Friday. Resuming on 154 for 5, Sri Lanka was all out for 291 after 78.3 overs. Emperera scored 92 and Angelo Matthews 83. Ravindra Jadeja did the havoc for India, taking 3 for 67. In the second innings, India finished the day on 189 for 3. A. Mukund added 81 and skipper Virat Kohli was undefeated on 76. That's all the sports for now. Join us next time. Stay tuned for your weekend weather forecast.
Hello and good evening. Welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Farah Rock career. Well, today, fair weather conditions prevailed across Dominica today, and that is as a result of the high pressure system, which was the dominant feature. We take a look now at earlier visible satellite imagery, and what it showed is just a few shallow, low-level clouds across Dominica as well as over in the Atlantic. Earlier radar imagery taken this afternoon indicated no shower activity across Dominica. No showers were recorded at both the Canefield and Douglas Shell stations today. The weather tonight is expected to be fair to partly cloudy and hazy with a few scattered showers, and tomorrow partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, hazy with some scattered showers mainly during the afternoon. Relatively warm temperatures expected tomorrow as well. Maximum temperatures are expected to peak up to 33 degrees Celsius on the coast. Let's move on now to the marine forecast. Once more, sea conditions will be moderate and waves are expected to peak up to 5 feet. Let's take a look at the 3D forecast. Starting tomorrow, Saturday, as I said, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy and hazy with a few scattered showers mainly during the afternoon period. Relatively warm temperatures expected. A weak tropical wave will traverse the area late Saturday into Sunday. However, the weather conditions expected for Sunday will be partly cloudy with some scattered showers. On Monday, the high pressure system will re-establish itself. However, there will be an increase in moisture. Therefore, some generally cloudy skies with some showers is expected, but breezy conditions expected on Monday. Maximum wind speeds are expected to peak up to 40 kilometers per hour. Well, the Caribbean forecast tomorrow, occasional cloudy skies with some scattered showers expected across the islands with some hazy conditions expected as well. On the international scene, only the city of Beijing will enjoy some fair weather conditions tomorrow. Overcast skies with some showers expected in New York and London, and thunderstorm activity expected across Miami and Caracas. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:47 a.m. and will set at 6:37 p.m. We are still in the hurricane season. Feel free to visit our website at weather.gov.dm or call over the hotline at 447-5555. Join us next time for our next weather broadcast. Thank you for viewing.
To end the news, the headlines again. Changes to the income tax system are underway as government seeks to incentivize employment. Opposition leader wants to see more attention placed on traditional growth engines, and renewed calls for authorities to rethink the location of the proposed Newtown Health Center. Feel free to contact us at news@mapin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Kenny Williams. To our viewers around the world, we thank you for watching. Have yourself an awesome weekend.